Hey there, everybody. I wanted to put up a little quick video, and yes, it will be very quick, I promise, about something I finally figured out today. As most of you know that have been following my grow, I've been having a hell of a problem outside this screened cage that I have with peppers hitting the ground like crazy. Actually, today, if I had to guess, it's probably 1,000 have hit the ground. It's ridiculous. I just went and did some cleanup today and found a lot more than I missed in between the boards, and there's a lot. So a lot of them very, very small. I wanted to let you all know what I found out, so in case anybody falls into the same problem, you know what the hell's going on. I originally thought it was heat, because it was the only difference I could see between inside the cage, where it's probably 20-30% shaded by the screen, to outside the cage. They're a foot away, and they're day and night. They look different. The plants are yellower leaves, not yellowing, but light green, no dark green, vibrant color. Inside, they're flawless. They look like fake house plants. So I figured it had to be heat, so I have a shade cloth going. You all know that. I'm getting a shade cloth. I didn't get it today, so I'm going to have to get it hopefully Monday and get it up, but that's not what it was. Found out definitively what it was today, thanks to George Payne, who I sent some pods to, and he did a little deeper exploration into what it might be, because I knew 2 of the pods were closed because the stems were starting to barely yellow, and I told him just, make sure you look close at those, because if they're no good, just toss them and I'll get you some new ones. So he cut one open. It was a little yellow, the stem fell off, so he cut one open to see a little closer what was going on, and he just looked inside, and of course up by the top it was starting to brown and look nasty. So he was going to toss it, but he figured he'd look around, and one of them fell out, and it was a maggot. Like not a huge maggot, a real little one, like a little worm or grub it looked like. So he thought he'd let me know, because when he cut open the other one that looked like it was kind of getting mushy, like it wasn't ripening right, the same thing happened. So he found one in both types of plants, or pods from different plants. So that's pretty much more than a coincidence. So I started looking it up and started digging. He got me on the phone and told me, and I'm like, wow, that's got to be what it is. I mean, what the hell? All the yellow ones look like that. I had cut them open, but I didn't look close enough. That's what I didn't do, because they're curled up. They were the size of a seed, maybe. So it looked like a seed, Anyhow, I didn't dig deep enough, because that was my problem from the get-go, without question. If any of you go to this link and read it, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Every single symptom of that little critter is what I have in my garden right now. I mean, to a T. It looked like they took pictures in my garden. Anyhow, what it is not a pepper maggot like I thought it was, which is pretty common. They're bigger, and they come from a fly, yellow and black striped fly. But I found it with that, and I'm looking at it going, oh, it's kind of big. They don't really get mushy. The pods weren't mushy. They looked firm and kind of like they were almost ready to ripen. But it is a pepper weevil. That's what it is. And I didn't even know what, I've heard the name. I don't know what the hell that is, but I guess it's really prevalent down here in the south. And it's from March to June is usually their period, and guess when it hit me? Right in the middle of June, and it's still going. So I looked this thing up, and I'm telling you, the entomology page that I found is unbelievable, exactly what it is. So this is what it looks like, if you really want to see what it looks like, right here. There you go. Beautiful, huh? There's only one per pepper. They plant one per pepper, and they can plant about 6 peppers a day, each one. So that's what makes it odd to me, and why I didn't think for a second it was something burrowing into it, is because there was no holes. There's no holes in the pods that were having this happen to them. They were perfect. They looked like flawless pods, except the yellowing stem on the base, and then it would just fall off like it was dead. So very strange. So the reason that is because a pepper weevil, if you saw that picture, it has actually that's not the picture, here's the picture of the pepper weevil. That's the nasty little sucker that's getting my plants. But see that nose? They stick that nose in it. They're only the size of a tick. They're very small. They stick it in, implant the egg, and pull it out, and they let off a secretion that actually is like a shiny hard substance that seals the hole. So it basically looks like a speck of dirt. Barely a speck. so it's not a hole, and it doesn't rot there. The plant does not, the pepper doesn't rot where that hole is because it's sealed. So that's why there was no hole. So if you ever run into any of that, you guys will have an idea what the hell's going on without going through what I went through, because I'm scratching my damn head trying to figure this out. There's a lot of peppers on the ground. So I went out with a shop vac, and once I found out, and I freaked out and realized there's a lot of pods laying on the ground. Well, every one of them has a damn larva in it, and it's going to turn into a weevil. It's going to burrow its way out when it grows and come out and do it again. So I went out and shop vac every damn pepper I could find out there, and I'm going to seal them in a Ziploc bag and dispose of them before they can do that. And I'm going to spray for them. It's the only thing you can do to kind of, you can't really prevent them, but you can control them by spraying. The first sign of getting peppers, pods are starting to form, you start spraying. And you spray, once every week to 2 weeks until their season's over, until June. So that sucks, but whatever. And it's also why they didn't get inside the cage. They couldn't get through the screen because the screen holes are too small for that thing to get through. They're a couple millimeters long. So that would explain it. That's why there isn't a single one inside this cage that has it, and all the ones outside had it. They must have came through in a wave because it kind of all hit at one time, and now it's starting to fade. I notice there aren't that many left, and they aren't really yellowing anymore. There's a couple that were close that are going to fall, and I'm going to pull them off. Believe me, I'm going to get them off there. But I see a lot of good-sized pods on there that are outside that aren't getting it yet, so I'm thinking they kind of are over their time, but of course I'm still going to spray like a madman out there tonight. What I'm going to spray, I'm going to put a link to it. I'm not going to hold it up because YouTube freaks out with brand names, so I'll put a link to it. It's made by Safer. They finally came up with a product that will kill stink bugs, because that's another problem I got out there. Those little son of bitches drill holes in your pods and ruin them. But they have a hard shell, and they're incredibly hard to kill. No insecticide really kills them. That won't waste your plant. So I found one that's organic, made by Safer, and it's number 567. If you look that up, Safer number 567, that's the product. It kills soft and hard shell insects, hard-bodied insects, and it does kill the stink bug. But that's, I think, relatively new, because they've been scrambling trying to find something for this, because there's nothing to really do to them. They don't have natural predators too much. So anyhow, I'll put the link down there for anybody that gives a damn about it. What else did I want to tell you? I don't even remember. I think that was about it. Just a little video sharing my sorrow. So there you go. At least I figured it out. I'm kind of relieved just to know, even though I get a shade cloth out of the deal, but I'm glad to have that anyhow. The plants are struggling out there. But that'll make for greener plants, and once I get rid of these damn things, we'll be styling. So there you go. Now you all know, if you ever run into yellowing stems and pod drop, look to the weevil. Alrighty? See you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with a pod test later tonight. Later on.